I believe that learning and understanding of Singapore history can contribute to having a stronger national identity and of being Singaporean. This is especially so when young minds in school are exposed early to the history of Singapore. I'm of the view that this can only be achieved if history is presented to encourage students to consider multiple perspectives and engage in critical thinking. This will also reduce students' and parents' perceptions of using history as government propaganda. I believe the same should apply to the representations of histories in exhibitions curated by the National Heritage Board. This would include exhibitions at museums such as the National Museum and interpretive centers such as the Malay Heritage Center and Nanyang Memorial Hall. It is time we move away from representations of a standard or official history. We should allow different interpretations of histories with the goal of encouraging critical thinking and promoting citizenship education to guide NHB exhibitions. For example, the recent Parliament in Singapore History exhibition could take on different interpretation as seen from the multiple perspectives of pioneer statesmen, ruling party backbenchers, opposition party members, women members, minority members, and so on. NHB now provides grants to organizations and individuals keen to conduct historical research and curate exhibitions on history. An independent commission made up of professional historians and heritage specialists from different institutions should be set up to oversee the grants with the mission to encourage critical thinking through different interpretation of history. An independent commission would signal to the public that the government is not here to control and censor history. The historical exhibitions will have more legitimacy with the public and therefore promote citizenship education.
Mr. Khiang spoke on allowing different interpretations of Singapore history and setting up an independent commission to oversee NHB grants. NHB already taps on the expertise of independent external panels to evaluate its grants. The panels contain representatives from different sectors, including academics and civic society groups, such as the Singapore Heritage Society, to ensure a wide range of opinions and views. To date, NHB grants have funded about 180 projects, ranging from publications to documentaries, exhibitions, workshops, and commissioned research. As NHB does not dictate content, we have seen many different topics and perspectives represented. NHB also draws widely on local and international experts in curating exhibitions. NHB has consulted such experts on the revamp of our heritage institutions and the Singapore History Galleries at the National Museum of Singapore. In particular, our Singapore history, the National Museum is advised by senior historians from our universities who are acknowledged in their fields. The same applies to the recent exhibition at the Old Parliament House, which Mr. Lau mentioned. Besides pioneer leaders, various groups such as opposition party members, minority members, and women members are also featured in the visuals and text of the exhibition. For example, Mr. Cham Si Tong's quote capturing his perspective on being an opposition party member in Parliament is prominently highlighted. As in other exhibitions, NHB and the Art House would welcome views and additional information which can enrich our understanding of history. Overall, NHB's approach is an open and consultative one. It takes an objective approach in its curation of history and invites visitors to examine different perspectives and engage in critical thinking rather than impose a standard or official account of history, as Mr. Loh says. Let me give you an example. The Singapore History Gallery has a showcase displaying published political material leading up to the 1962 referendum on merger. The showcase represents the Chinese, English, and Malay versions of the battle for merger by then Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew. This series of radio talks aimed to expose the goals, methods, and organization of the communist movement. But the showcase also presents two alternative political perspectives published at the time. You can see that it is on the second line, second row there. One was a booklet entitled The Truth Behind Merger, written by Felix Leonceau, who was then Secretary General of the Liberal Socialist Party. In the booklet, She urged the people to question the PAP's campaign for merger and make an informed decision when casting their votes during the referendum. The other was 合并,假合并,与邦联, or merger, phony merger, and confederation, a booklet published by the Barisan Socialists in which the party disagreed with the merger term set out by the PAP and instead championed full and complete merger. The above example illustrates how NHB seeks to present curatorial viewpoints based on facts and comprehensive research from multiple available sources. At the same time, NHB welcomes new sources of information and viewpoints that enrich our understanding of our past through different perspectives.